Cultural Communication and Journalism at Utah State University. I actually run the undergraduate curriculum in agricultural communication and journalism, so I teach students how to communicate about agriculture and environmental issues through broadcast, print, web, graphics, and with various audiences. And today I'm really excited because I get to share with you a little bit about some good web-based strategies and social media tools for marketing your products to consumers and to retailers. And so with that being said, I'll just start off real basic and talking a little bit about web design and websites. If you are thinking about advertising your product, whether it's for retail or direct to consumer with community supported agriculture, farmers markets, PICU stands, it is important to have a web presence because consumers are searching the internet to learn where these resources are in their states. And so I do encourage you to think about having a website. And there are lots of different tools for web design. I do not promote any single one, but I would say the most commonly used ones in agriculture are Weebly.com, WordPress.org, and then Dreamweaver. And that Dreamweaver program, you will need to have extensive web design experience to operate it. If you are a minimalist learning to promote their business for the first time and getting a web presence, Weebly has been the most user-friendly application I've used in teaching web design, not only to students but producers. I like it because you can have a very simple account for about $100 for the year. It'll help you buy your URL address so you can have a very unique website name. For example, Jackrabbit Cheese or Beehive Cheese or Bell Organic. You want to make sure you have a company name that's easy to recognize and that you can type into the internet and find. And so I find that Weebly does a great job. WordPress is also a really great site that has templates and lots of tutorials and guidance to help you set up your pages. Now, what do you put on that website once you have it? Well, you need to be able to tell your story and brand yourself so that people know why should they shop from you and support your business than your competitors. So tell them who you are. What do you do? Why do you do it? What's your philosophy? Why do you want local food? Why do you want to have a business that's related to honey or natural herbs or the meat or perhaps a community supported agriculture program? And you got to explain to them what it is you do. A lot of this is just a description of your farm, description about you. Other good tools of information would be your contact information, email, phone number, social media tools that you use like Facebook or Twitter page. We're going to address some of the most popular tools in agriculture for promoting your businesses. You want to also think about talking about the product. What is it that you're selling? If it's a community support agriculture program, you got to probably explain what CSA is and what your share will include and how frequent it is and where people can go pick up that information. If you want to go and sell your products at a farmer's market, tell them what farmer's markets you're going to be at, where you're going to be, what kind of products you're selling. You don't need to go into lots of details, but you can say, the things I'm growing include these items. You don't need to give pricing or any of those kind of details because that does fluctuate depending on where you go for your markets and your CSA share, full versus half a share. So you don't have to worry so much about those little details. And it does change over time as you think about your business plan and what you're offering. You also want to think about maps. If you're going to have them come out to your farm for a PICU stand, a Google map is really easy. Most accounts like WordPress and Weebly include the option to just drop in a Google map with your address located so they can easily find you. And then they can go and get directions and know how to arrive at your place. Hours of operation are always good. If you do have a PICU stand, that way they know where to go and at what time you're going to be available. Pictures. Pictures are what people are really interested in. They like to click on video. They like to see images. They want to know what it is they're getting. and they're not going to scroll through a long website to find what that is. So I encourage you to think about taking photos of your farm. Show the progress of your garden growing and talk about it. Think about maybe calving season. It's started up in early March. So if you have calves or you're thinking about meat market, lamb, something like that, take photos of it. Show your kids, show your family involved on the farm and what they do. Because that's what consumers are wanting to see. They're wanting to know that you're a local, family supported operation and what do you grow and what do you believe in. Now, with that being said, it's great to have a website, but you have to find ways to drive traffic to it and get people to go to it. And one of the most effective tools is through social media. And there are 4 main tools that have been very effective in the agriculture industry for promoting our products to consumers. And the first I'm going to talk about is a blog. A blog is a great way, if you have a farmer's market, picnic stand, community support agriculture program, or you're just selling your product, to talk about it. It needs to be updated regularly, not just once a month, but probably twice a month at least. Because the idea is that you continuously have a conversation with your readers. And you share stories. Talk about something that's happened on the farm. Share a funny story. Talk about harvest. Talk about planting. Talk about the process you take to get the product to the market, where you're going to be. Something that's been really effective for ranchers over the past year has been talking about their hardships. It's been tough because we've had drought and we've had this terrible blizzard, and a lot of the ranchers were wiped out or at least detrimented with the cattle size, the herd size. And so they've been able to talk about recovering and the challenges they face in the industry. Well, you guys face challenges too. And so you can talk about that and help educate your consumers about you and about our industry. When you think about it, about 1% of our population is directly involved in agriculture production, but 100% of our population are consumers. So here's your way to educate them and let them know what makes you special. It's a great way to use visuals, so those photos, have a little caption. Take video. One of the most effective ways would be do a video of people coming to your farm stand or shopping at the farmer's market you're at. Or maybe do a nice little display of all the goodies that you offer for a share with your community support agriculture program. And you take a video of it and you talk about what you're offering. Post that and let those pictures really help them learn more from the experience. And then lastly, a recipe. Recipes have been really helpful for consumers because they'll get leaks and then they don't know what to do with them. And they can go to your blog and you have this amazing recipe and they know how to eat something that you've provided them. So recipes have been helpful, but blogs are good for interacting with your audience. Asking questions. If you're growing rhubarb or maybe you're harvesting honey, ask them what their favorite thing is to eat or what's their favorite recipe for using that product and get them to answer so that you're not generating all the content. Then it's simply writing back to them. That's a conversation. Thanks so much for answering. I would love to know that recipe. Are you willing to share it? They get that on their blog. They see that you comment. Then they go back to it. They post it. Maybe more people start reading it. So it's about having conversations and asking them questions. If you're not sure of something, this is your chance to ask them what they think. People love to share their opinions. Everyone has an opinion. So here's a way for you to share it and to learn from others and get feedback. Talk about a new idea you have and see what they're willing to say and encouraging, or are they discouraging? Do they have questions about it? Because that's going to generate conversation because you reply. Here's an example of a really effective blog that an Idaho rancher's wife uses. They document their story They talk about their ranch, their family members, and what they do, and then also a great detail about their their meat CSA and some of the things that they're venturing into, and the work they do with local butcher shops, and how you can find their products at farmers market. And she has these little entries about once a week where it's a photo, a video, or just something very simple that's happening on the farm. And she has been able to run this blog since about 2009. And there's quite a few followers. You can see over 14,000 people have been reading her blog posts. And so it's about that consistent communication. And she tells a lot about what her husband does and her perspective of what it's like to be the wife going into this operation, and what she's learning from the experience and what the kids are getting from it. Because kids and animals are awesome photos. Truth. So, and she can post photos of her kids interacting with the calves or branding or riding horses or doing something like that. She instantly has more followers. And I've tracked her over the years, and I see how her readership jumps dramatically when there's that picture that can be a really cute little story. So think if there's a way to do those kind of things for your business, and how could you bring people into your story? Yes. Facebook has been one of the most successful social media tools used in the agricultural industry for direct sales and marketing to consumers. This can be done with a business page. So what does that mean? It does mean you have to have a Facebook profile. It doesn't mean you have to use your Facebook page, okay? It means that you just need to have a username and a password to log on and have a business page. And you create a Facebook page specifically promoting your community support agriculture program, your family ranch, your garden, whatever business that you have. And for the Facebook, it's about communicating with people and getting followers. So you want to start following the Utah Department of Agriculture. And then you want to follow maybe Slow Food Utah and maybe Local Harvest and some of these organizations that have consumers that will already like the product because they have interest in it. And your page will appear on their feed as a suggestion to follow it. So you got to start thinking about places to go and like your page. That way they can start seeing that advertising part of it. But you need to be able to share your thoughts about your operation, what it is that you do, show pictures, advertise your products, talk about it. Take a picture of the bottle of honey. What makes it a unique product, and why should they buy your product over competitors? Include a recipe that they could easily access on Facebook and use for maybe making a salad or something that's seasonal that relates well to what's being grown now. That was a question again. Ask them what they think about something. It is important to leave comments, because if you're not engaging, then the readers tend to drop off and they won't follow you and they won't revisit. And so that's where I try to say, log on every once in a while, every 2 weeks, respond occasionally to something that's being said, even if it's thanks so much for that idea. I appreciate you following. Or look forward to seeing you at the blank event that you're going to. Well, Facebook is amazing. And the thing is, once you have friends and you ask your friends to like your page, and then they'll get friends to like your page, and it just kind of snowballs to being a really big business. Wonderful. And when did you start your Facebook page? Yes. Mhm. Yes. And that's why I recommend the business page, because it does protect you as having a personal profile versus marketing of a company. And Facebook is cracking down on that because of abuse that has occurred, not necessarily in our industry, but to people who have been spamming, creating fake accounts, hacking into accounts, and then taking over the posts. And so they have increased their security greatly. And that's why I say if you're going to go to Facebook, make sure it's a business page. It is. Nothing is kept. And there's the difficult thing, because once your personal profile is shut down, it is shut down permanently. You will never access those wonderful posts that you had in your photos and videos from 4, 5, 6 years ago. The business page does seem to have a better archive, and it is improving. And this is how I'm going to share with you an example of one of the organizations I think that has had a very effective Facebook profile, and that's Heber Valley Cheese. They have revamped their Facebook page tremendously over the last year, and some of the things I like about it is that they made sure to have the cover page something that will always be the same, a picture of a main spot, their farm, the barn, where people can go in and get products and see everything and be able to go in there. And then they use their logo for their picture. So instead of a profile picture of you, use your company's logo, your business's logo, whatever it is that you're setting up to brand for your products. I also like it because their homepage immediately has their contact information. It includes their mailing address, a phone number, and their website, and then their business hours. So you know how to get to their store and when they're going to be open to purchase anything. Now, something that they do every single week is a Facebook post. This week's post was encouraging people to attend an event at Park City that was a Meet the Producers event sponsored by Slow Food Park City. And that way, people knew, hey, if I want to go and see Heber Valley and I like their cheese and I'm in the Park City area, I go to this event, I can check out their product, I can taste all their samples, and then check everybody else out there they are promoting themselves. The other things they do are take photos of their cheeses, and this one was just recent, March 19th, and they said, oh, we just made all this cheese and we've shipped it to this international cheese competition where we're waiting to see if we win. And so they're asking people to just support them during this competition and kind of follow along and see what the results are of the competition. As you can see, they get good luck wishes, asking them, how things are going, and they just continuously engage their members by asking them, how would you use this product? What's your favorite cheese? What do you wish we did? And then they're commenting back on it. I do like that they have an about page. It is worth setting up a good about page on Facebook. This about page shows the Google map to your farm or business. You can do a little description about what you sell, list your products, talk about who you are, and then it gives some basic information. So you can decide how much you want to share, such as when your company was started, where you're located, what your hours are, and then some keywords and things that kind of describe your business so people can more easily find it when they go and search Facebook. Now, this is great, but if you are not aware of this, Facebook is quickly losing members because of all of the privacy settings and how Facebook has changed dramatically their use of the posts. Nothing is yours on Facebook. I hope you realize that. Anytime you post something, whether it's a video, a photo, or a post, Facebook takes ownership of it, and yes, they can use it for their own advertising. And they can take your image without your consent and choose what they want to do with it. Lots of consumers have complained because all of a sudden they'll be traveling somewhere, they'll see a Facebook ad and it's a picture of their family talking about some trip they've done and how they are talking about it on Facebook. Family had no permission asked to use it. And so as a business consumer, you do need to be careful about your brand and how it's used. Anybody can post your information over again, and yes, you can edit those posts. So a lot of individuals are going to Twitter because Twitter has more privacy settings, and they're still being very protective of the users. Now, how do you go about using Twitter? You only have 140 characters to deliver a message. It's not a lot of space. So what you can do is comment about some agricultural issue. Recently, I've seen lots of posts about the Farm Bill. They were anxiously waiting to see if we would pass a Farm Bill, and once a lot of the farmers and ranchers saw it pass, they started talking about how it was going to benefit their farm or the impact it would have on consumers. They've also talked about issues with drought, planting, calving, transportation issues, anything that might be going on in their state. And then they're commenting on it just to educate and let people know what's happening. They're also mentioning their passion for the industry. Why are you in agriculture? Why are you selling your product? What was your story that really made them interested and made you decide to make this a business? You can share links to pictures and videos. Every time there's a link that takes to a picture, Twitter has been able to discover that that has driven the traffic to your Twitter feed, and people will start following it more. So it's really about images. People like to see pictures of other people and of themselves. But you can advertise your products and your events. Give a little brochure, a postcard, maybe someplace you're going. Link to that location. Tell them you're going to be there. You look forward to seeing them. Ask questions. See if they're interested in learning anything. What is it they're interested in learning? We get lots of questions from consumers about organic. What's organic? What's safe? Like when I say products are organic, should they always eat organic? Where do they buy organic things? So if you happen to be marketing a product that's organic or that contains organic items, there's a venue for you to educate consumers. And they're doing it through Twitter. And then lastly, link to articles. If you come across something that was really great and that you read it and you learned about it, and you think, wow, so other people could benefit from learning about your topic, make it a Twitter. And just Twitter feed for a quick tweet, and then just copy and paste the link to the article and let other people read it. And then check back in a few days and ask them a question. What do you think about this article? Hashtag helps search for the most popular topics, and I actually wanted to talk a little bit about popular hashtags. So hashtag local food, hashtag ag. Now, I don't like AG. I think the most popular hashtag has been hashtag agriculture, because I'll look that up. Hashtag gardening. Gardening is really popular amongst consumers. So if you are dealing with community-supported agriculture, farmers markets, picnic stands, any place where you are gardening or can provide a way to talk about gardening, that has been very popular. Hashtag food. And then at the end of each tweet, you put down 1 or 2 hashtags. And that way people can easily have it come up in their feed, because I can literally request posts that are about specific topics. So I have community supported agriculture, local food, agriculture, food in general, Ag Chat. Are any of you familiar with Ag Chat? It is the largest online agricultural foundation. Ag Chat does a weekly chat with consumers and producers on Tuesday nights from
6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and every week it's a different topic, and they alternate. The first and third Tuesdays, it's on the agriculture issue, and then the second and fourth Tuesdays, it's about some food-related issue, and so they get lots of chefs and restaurant owners and consumers that want to know about food. So you log on to Twitter, you go to Ag Chat, and then you literally chat with consumers and producers and chefs for 2 hours. There's a moderator who kind of tracks questions and timing and makes sure that everything is followed politely and that we are not insulting anybody. But it is an awesome way for producers to share their products and their knowledge. And so if you are venturing in Twitter and thinking about using that as a social media tool, you might want to think about participating one night in Ag Chat. It has been very effective in the Midwest as a way to gain consumers' trust and education about local food. Yeah, sure. Not to my knowledge. How I set it up is that my Twitter account, make it your business account. And then you can set up another Twitter account that's your personal account. So you can have multiple accounts on Twitter, and they don't really care if it is company or personal. So what I would do is start off with a business account, and instead of your picture, that's your profile of you, use your logo for your company. And then that way, every time you have a tweet that is written by you, or someone retweets what you've said, that little picture appears. And then with Twitter, it is about regular communication. It's not something I recommend getting on every once or twice a year. It's something that you're going to have to dedicate time to with a few tweets a week, or at least a month. Start off that way. But you'll be surprised how easy it is. Because your Twitter phone, your Twitter can be attached to your phone for Androids, iPhones, and then you can just sit there and write almost like a text message and have it post to Twitter. So it's pretty user friendly, and it does not take a lot of time to manage it. There are lots of companies that do promote their products on Twitter, and this is one that's here in Utah, up in the farms, up in the Hyde Park area in northern Utah, and they do a really nice job just saying, hey, we're going to be at this event, or here we just bought new goats, and we're not sure what we're going to do. Here's a picture, and let's meet them. And then we'll talk about each one of the goats that they just bought. And so it takes them to their blog. But the little tweet is a very effective way to mention to readers what's happening at the farm. And it's a lot of things like, oh, we're going to be collecting eggs, and we're going to have our eggs sold here, or we're going to be going to the Cache Valley Farmers Market. We hope to see you there. Or they're going to promote their food share, and they'll advertise it and let people know when they can enroll in that and what that includes. And then, as you'll know, the individuals are really great. You see lots of hyperlinks here. And some of them are like this right here. And each one of those takes them to either a video, a picture, a website, or the blog. And so it's all about engagement and getting them to click on something and read more about it. Think of this as being a headline, a teaser, to get people to read something more about you. YouTube is growing in use for those that have community-supported agriculture programs. And one of the most popular ways it's being used is by talking about the weekly share. So I thought I would share with you very quickly about a minute video and how a local producer does this on their YouTube. And the cool thing is, this is done with a camera on a phone and then uploaded to YouTube, and then they just post it so that anyone can watch it.
Sisters Hill Farm, October 15th. Here's what we have for today. 1 head of cabbage. Gorgeous, beautiful cabbage today. 1 pound of carrots. We have some jalapeno peppers for those that like them. 2 peppers. 2 beautiful broccoli. A choice of a bunch of radishes or 2 daikon radishes. 2 heads of lettuce. 1 pound of tatsoi. 1 pound greens of your choice. Got arugula, broccoli rabe, Asian mix, red rain, and Toscano kale. 4 pounds of tomatoes or dill choice. It's the last of the tomatoes probably. A lot of green ones in there, but some ones that are starting to ripen nicely. 3 winter squash. You have delicata or a festival type squash. And then over this way we have 5 pounds of potatoes. We have Cayuga Golds or Adirondack Reds. And then for pick your own, we have 20 stems of flowers, 2 basil plants, and 1 bunch parsley. Enjoy!
And in a very short period of time, he took his camera phone, he just videos each of the products, tells what it is, and then posts it. Now, we've done a lot of surveys nationwide asking producers about their use of social media. And one of our questions is always, what's the impact of YouTube? Is it worth using to promote your business? And what they're finding is that if you are offering products that are perhaps unique or that people are less familiar with and using, that the YouTube video is being watched so that people know what the heck is in their CSA share. They're not sure of what the butternut squash is, or maybe what a summer squash or acorn squash or some of the lettuces, and they can quickly watch that minute-long video. They're seeing what it is, and then they can get an idea of how to use it. And it's permanently up there. So when people go to search community support agriculture, local food, whatever it is, his videos are one of the things that come up in the search. A lot of CSAs come up in the search, but he has been doing this for so long that probably 2 years worth of videos are available for the public to watch and see what's being grown by his farm. Now, why is this also good? New business. Consumers might not really understand what community supported agriculture is, and a quick little video can educate them. And no, you don't think so?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, tell me. I would love to know if it hasn't worked. Oh, it's okay. And that's the other thing. Yes. The search. And that's why I was promoting this, because when you think of who owns YouTube and Blogger and all of these social media tools, your search engine optimization, or where you appear when people search for you, will increase because you have more of a presence online. You have a website, you have a Facebook page, maybe Twitter. I wouldn't jump into it at all of it at once. I would kind of test it out and see which ones you're most comfortable using and then dedicate your time to that. And then the YouTube. It has not been adopted as well as Facebook. And that's just partly because consumers are still meeting their needs with Facebook. Now, I will say for those who have been disgruntled because of the policies of Facebook, Google Plus is growing. Where it's growing is in the corporations. They're using the Google Hangout for doing business meetings worldwide. I have not seen it being used as much in the agriculture industry. But Facebook's been around longer. So I'm going to keep my eye on that and see how Google Plus changes. And I follow Google Plus. I have a Google Plus account. I have a Facebook account, Twitter, YouTube. And so I kind of use them. No. Yes. Mm-hmm. And the That's why I make sure I run a virus scan on a daily basis on my computer, since I do teach web and graphics and video, and I do these things in my life. And then I go and talk about it. I keep a virus scan program on my iPad, on my phone, and on my laptop where I access all these things just to monitor and make sure I'm not seeing any change in how my computer's operating, or my phone. Because yes, I've had a virus on my phone. So I use different virus protectors. I can look it up for you because I have all my devices here. So ask me later and I will tell you the ones I have installed on my my resources here because I brought them all with me. So then how do you go about managing all this? I have just thrown out to you websites and 4 ways of doing social media. I have some tips. Take it slow. Maybe start off with one social media tool and really dedicate your time to it and see how effective it is. Well, how do you measure its effectiveness? Google Analytics. And Google Analytics is a free service that you can just go and say googleanalytics.com. Get a username, get a password. And then you tell it to track your Facebook page and your website and any other social media tools you get. And you can run a report to see how many people are reading your post. How long are they spending time on your website? Where are they visiting? What information is the most interesting to your users? And then you can make some decisions and going, you know what? No one's really reading my Twitter feed. I either need to promote it or maybe that's not the right tool for me. It seems like most of my consumers are using Facebook. I'm going to make sure then I dedicate my time to building that Facebook page. And so it can be a great way. It's free too. So it's a great way to track something for free. And you can run the reports as frequently as you want to log in. And I actually get them emailed to my university email once a week. And I just get this nice little complete email that tells me all the details of all of my accounts that are attached to it. And I don't have to do the work. It does it for me. Which helps because you guys are busy. You need to be out in the field and at the farmers markets and at the events and talking to your consumers and also just producing the product you have. You don't need to spend a lot of your time doing just the marketing. Another tip I have is make sure you are writing regularly. What does that mean? At least twice a month. Try to engage them. If you can do it once a month, you would be much more effective. But I know that when you get into a busy season, it's not possible. You're overwhelmed with just the operation itself. So how do you handle that? There are tools for it. And they're called social media management tools. And they actually maintain all of your social media for you. And you can log on, and I will do a month's worth of posts when I'm not as busy. And then I tell it when to launch. And it handles all of my social media launches for me. Now, my favorite is Hootsuite. It's free. I'm going to show you an example of how it works. But Sprout Social and Vertical Response are also very good products. I will say they have like small business accounts that are free. So you're not having to spend a lot of money on using a social media tool like this. But if you have more than 5 social media tools, then they start charging you because they see that you are a premium client for it. So my tip is that if you go onto Hootsuite, you have one user. So maybe just you, or you share the one username and password with the other employees at your business. And you have one way to log in and use the site. And you can have 5 social media tools that you tell them to track and to handle for you. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, WordPress, which is a website and blog source, Google+, and Foursquare. All of those can be controlled through Hootsuite. And you log into Hootsuite, you click on your Twitter, you write all your posts, you tell them when you want it to launch, and it will launch it for you. It can also push your Twitter to your Facebook. It can push it to your website, to your blog, whatever it is, and you just set it all up. And then it's just regularly going in there and writing information and providing the information. But yes, when it's a very busy season for you and you know that you're not going to have time to get a blog post done, you can write some of those posts ahead of time. If you know you're growing lettuces, maybe you can talk about a variety of lettuce, or you could talk about a recipe for an excellent salad. Have it ready and on your Hootsuite account ahead of time. Tell it when to launch it, and you don't have to sit there the night before you're going to distribute your lettuce out to someone and then have to tell them about it. Some of my other tips would be to promote your social media tools. You can do it through email, friends, Facebook, Twitter, include it on your business cards, and certainly on your website. Make sure there is some type of social media link so that your website takes them to your Facebook page or your Twitter page. Pictures are very important. It's the number one thing that consumers are looking for. They love to see the animals and the kids. So if you have a picture, I encourage you to take out that camera phone. Take it with you. Take photos. Write a little caption. Use that information for your posts. What questions do you have about social media and web marketing? Anything you want to know? Sure.
Everything that has that.
Correct.
No way to sort of
There is not a great sorting technique for Twitter. It basically floods your feed with everything that relates to that hashtag, yes. Now, you can, I'm pretty exclusive in who I want to receive tweets from. I don't want to just hear it from everybody, so I do restrict people. I do not follow them if I don't see them having much interaction. I'll add new people, and then I select certain people that I want to follow and receive tweets from on a daily basis or weekly basis. And you can control how you get your Twitter feed. It's all in your settings. But yes, if you say I want to receive everything that has the hashtag food, you may be overwhelmed by the number of responses. And especially hashtag agriculture. That's a very popular one. Hashtag local food, gardening, any of those terms. But that's where you follow Wasatch Community Gardens, or you go and follow Utah Farm Bureau. Trying to think some of the bigger ones that have used Twitter. CSA Utah, Slow Food Utah, Park City, Cache Valley, some of those, and you'll just start getting some suggestions on people to follow and what to kind of look for. And then you can always go and limit your hashtags. You can take one away, you can add them, and kind of decide over time if there's something you want more information on. Other questions you have? That is my contact information. I also have some business cards and access to undergraduates who like to use social media since I run the undergraduate program at Utah State. And I get several students always asking for projects for classes and clients in web design, web related things, social media campaigns, graphic design campaigns this semester. And so if you're ever in need of finding maybe someone to help you through something, feel free to contact me. And if I have a student who can work with you and communicate with you about something, they enjoy those opportunities and keep asking me for them. So please think about using that. Another plug, if you're not familiar with these things and you're needing some help, the university does have a PR agency on campus. It's called True Blue Communications. It's run through the journalism program, and it's entirely student-run agency. And they take on clients, usually for free, and they just help them with their business plans, marketing plans, social media tools, web design, development of a brochure, a business card, whatever it is. And it's just opportunities to get undergraduates to build a portfolio and gain experience with working with people. So if you're seeking out some assistance and you don't want to do this journey on your own,
True Blue Communications has been a pretty reliable organization on campus that does things for producers.